Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Tuesday, November 17th, 2020, and we're again in the final hour of the trading day. The final hour of the trading day is my favorite time to make the majority of my buying and selling decisions. Real quick, during the day, you have the algorithms and the day traders. They are in control of the price. At the end of the day, the large financial institutions come in. They're dealing with the most money. They have very smart people, best technology, best information, and they take control of the price away from the day traders and the algorithms in the last hour, and particularly in the last few minutes. So over time, I believe there is an edge in following what they are doing. So thank you all for coming today. I hope everyone is doing well. I always look forward to this time of the day, and I look forward to seeing all of you, and I'm very grateful that we have such a nice group with so many people contributing. I really appreciate that. So I hope that by spending your time here, it is helping with your understanding of the markets and with trading and investing. So thanks again. I mean that. I say it every day because I really do mean it. So, all right, listen, the Dow is currently down 116 points, down 0.39%. The NASDAQ is up 7 points, up 0.05, and the S&P is down 8.36. We were much lower earlier in the day on all the indexes, so we have had a bit of a rally, which is good. So listen, here's the plan for today. We're going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. We're going to come back, take a look at my current positions, talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, how I'm going to manage them going forward. I did have a few day trades today that I will be sharing with you. Then we're going to run over and take a look at the board and see how everyone's positions are doing over there. I'm glancing over at it, and maybe just a little bit more red than green, but there are some green ones here, pretty good green ones up. So we'll take a look at all of those. After that, going to do a little segment on trader psychology, just discuss how important it is and how at the end of the day, it really is the most important skill that you can develop in trading. It really is. That's why I talk about it every day. Hopefully by osmosis, with me talking about it every day, it will get into your heads and you'll realize how important it is basically to create a good, solid, decent plan, right? Doesn't have to be too complex or anything like that. Just keep your losses small, let your winners run. But following the plan, that's the challenge. So I like to talk about that. After that, I've gone down through my watch list. I've gone down through the results of Kamal Scanner. Quickly, I have 3 requirements before I look to enter any trade. First requirement, confluence or combination of indicators lining up on multiple time frames. Requirement number 2, a good risk to reward ratio. It's very important. The longer I trade, the more I realize just how important that risk to reward is. I don't like chasing things because it reduces my risk to reward. So 2 to 1 is my minimum. If I'm going to risk $100, I want to be able to make at least 200 or more to the upside in exchange for that risk, so that if I do win, I'm winning larger than I'm losing. And then number 3, few things here. Always keep in mind how much account heat you have, or in other words, how much of your capital is allocated to any position, because any position is a risk. Make sure that you take a few minutes, make sure that your positions are not too highly correlated. Make sure you are position sizing correctly based upon current volatility. So those are my 3 requirements. I'm going to go down through the list. There's quite a few today. I'm going to go down through them and use a fine-tooth comb at the end of the day. Try to just get down to the very, very best trade that fits all of my requirements. So, and then I'll take the trade at the end of the day before the market closes. After the market closes, if you have any questions for me, please let me know. If you need clarification on anything, please let me know. I'm happy to do that. If you'd like me to look at any symbols, stock symbols before the market closes, if you'd like my humble opinion on them, put them in the chat. Put an asterisk by it so I know it's time sensitive. And then lastly, if you have any new entries or exits for me today, if you could please wait till after the close of the market so that I'm done teaching, trading, pressure's off, and then I will get those all updated correctly. Okay, so I'm going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. I'll be back about 40 seconds. Thanks. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. All right, thanks for holding through that with me. Make sure my mic is on. Lova74 is here. Hi all. Hello Lova74. Good to see you. Thanks for letting us know that you've been reading the Trading in the Zone book, and I'm really glad to hear that that is been helpful for you, and I hope that you keep reading it. Quad Racer says, good afternoon, Greg and group. Hey Quad, good to see you, buddy. Gary is here. Hey Gary. Gary says, hi Greg and group. Hey, good to see you, bud. Steve Burns is here. Hello, everyone. Hey, Steve. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. As always, it's much appreciated, and I'm always excited to see you here. I know everyone else is, so thank you for that. That is very kind of you, and it's great to have you here. Johan is here. Hello, Greg and everyone. Hey, Johan. Good to see you. Johan's had some couple good trades today that we're going to go over. Gary says, I bought AGQ and Beyond Meat after hours. I had FOMO. Oh. Okay, well, remind me at the end there, Gary. And well, I guess the FOMO worked out okay on Beyond Meat, maybe not so great on silver, AGQ. Kamal is here. Hey, bud, good to see you. Good chatting with you today, as always. Johnson is here. Hey, Johnson, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you, Johnson. Ava is here. Hello, Ava. Nice to see you. Greetings to all. Greetings right back to Ava. Frank says, hello, Greg and group. Hey, Frank, good to see you, bud, as always. Ranger Trader is here. Hello, G and Company. What's going on, Jesse? Good to see you. Always nice to have Jesse in the live stream with us. And just a quick little plug for Jesse. Ranger_Trader is his Twitter channel, and he just got it going. So go over there and help him out, help him get a few subscribers. But he always has really good content on there. Something good I saw today that I liked. But good to see you, Jess. Hope you and the family are well. Gary says GM was the big winner with the Tesla calls. I know. She wrote me and told me. I have that on the on the list that I'm going to go through that she bought yesterday. Inclusion in the S&P. That's a home run. Yes, she did very well. Very proud of GM. Hey, there she is. Hello, everyone. Hello. We were just talking about you. Congratulations, GM, on your excellently timed Tesla calls that you bought yesterday. You're doing very well. Very proud of you. Frank has a poem for us. Your thoughts on trading should be written in ink, for they are really the missing link. Some get excited to reach new heights, others seek comfort, safety, or flight. Sometimes trading has no wrong or right. Oh boy, that's the truth. Let me try that one more time. Your thoughts on trading should be written in ink, for they are really the missing link. Some get excited to reach new heights, others seek comfort, safety, or flight. Sometimes trading has no wrong or right. That's right. Trading is just totally different for everyone. That's why you need to find a methodology that fits with your personality. That's the one that's going to be sustainable. That's the one that you're going to keep following. If you're just not comfortable with how, a trading methodology that you're using, then just don't use it. There's so many different trading approaches out there. Just find one that works best and fits like a glove with you. GM says, I am out of my Tesla, Greg. Okay, so you locked it in. I will note that when we go through. Jatton says, hello, good afternoon, sir. Hello to you, Jatton. Nice to see you. Bob says, hello, everyone. Hey, Bob. Nice to see you, bud. GM says, I have a target VIX 40 area in December, 1 or 2 weeks. I'll let you know. Please do. That would be fantastic. GM says, thank you, guys. Hello, David. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you and the family are doing well. David says, hi, Greg and group. And GM says, hi, David, as well. Hey, look at this Apple here. I'm not going to day trade this, but I'm just looking at the chart. I think you can see it. Look at that confluence right here. Negative third ATR channel, 200-day moving average, And I think it bounced right at the 30 RSI. So that's an interesting level to watch right there. I'm not going to trade this because I'm doing the podcast, but if I was not doing the podcast right here, I would definitely be watching this level. Let's look over on the larger. We've gone, well, we still have the 50 RSI on the 39 minute above us, so that's interesting. So on the larger time frame, it is holding something. That's an interesting confluence. Steve says, write you profit targets in erasable pencil, but write your stop losses in permanent ink. Oh, I like that. Write your profit targets in erasable pencil, but write your stop losses in permanent ink. That's right. So be stingy with those stop losses and be open-ended and open-minded with the profit targets. Fantastic. Johan says, great one, Frank. Been doing a bit of journaling. It's been helping with my thought process for sure. Hey, by the way, Johan, Kamal and I were talking about you today, and it was all good stuff because I said Johan's having a nice trade on GoDaddy today, and Kamal said, yeah, Johan takes good, clean setups. And I said, yes, he does. And then Kamal said, from being a pilot, he's used to following protocols, which I totally agree. I think Johan has a big future in trading just from what I've seen in this short amount of time. So anyway, Ranger Trader says, at Steve Burns, 100% for sure. Hey, look at Apple. Bounced right there, didn't it? Bounced right there like a champion. But that's a good example of the confluence of indicators all lining up and being patient. 200-day, 30 RSI, negative third ATR channel. It could collapse from here. We don't know, but so far that was exactly the little blue zone where it bounced. Jatton said, I was long on Microsoft since 13th November 83.65. Reason for this trade was post the 9th November candle. There was no follow-up selling, and stock consolidated resistance and patience paid off today. Very good. Is Microsoft up today? Kamal and I were looking at that earlier. It's down a little bit. I mean, it's really going sideways. So there's equal amount of buyers and sellers there. Okay, so listen, let's go through my current trades. I'm going to go through the day trades first so that I can clean up the charts. You know how that is, right? VIX. I did have a day trade on VIX, and let me explain to you why. I was speaking with Kamal when this happened. Here we have a low. We rallied this green. We have a lower low. So this is in deep MACD bars here, narrow MACD bars. Double bottom bullish divergence. One of my mentors, Kerry Lavorne, his favorite entry is after you have a double bottom and a bullish divergence, you get a V1, V2. I bought it right here at 1834. Went sideways. Next bar shot up, and I'm sure many of you are aware that when I day trade a little different. When I enter a position and I get a big strong bar up like that, I immediately take 50% off. I don't ask any questions, I just take it off. I exited here at 1842. Then once it got to this level, if it came back to my break-even point, I would get out. So I got in 1834, sold half 1842, out at 1832. Or 1834. So anyway, that was a profitable trade. Not a big one, but only in the trade for about 15 or 20 minutes. Looks like VIX has really taken off again since there. Apple, I did have a short trade in Apple, and I'll explain why. Here we have a high with high green MACD bars. We go down to red. We go higher with lower green bars. This is a double top with a bearish divergence. All I need is a trigger. My trigger here was a rejection of the 70 and a V1. I shorted at 120.52. Just danced sideways for a couple bars. Then I had a big down my way to the downside. I covered 120.32, And just like that VIX trade, it went right back to my entry point where I got out of break even. So almost exactly the same trade, just one was long, one was short, but they were both positive. So I'm grateful for that. Now let me clean up this chart here, because I'm going to go back over these on swing trades. By the way, everybody, I was telling Kamal, I made a horrible, horrible trading mistake today. I mean, horrible trading mistake. Here I preach to everyone, take your time, make sure you're buying what you want to buy. Well, in one of the accounts that I manage, I went to buy a bunch of VIX. I hit the button. All of a sudden, I see that I have a huge Amazon position. Just imagine buying however many shares you're going to buy in the VIX, which is very low priced, and having that for Amazon. It was horrible. I mean, what a wake-up call. As it turned out, it worked out fine. I actually made a little bit of money. Had I waited for 10 minutes, I would have made a whole ton. But of course, when you have mistakes, the thing to do is immediately get out, which I did. But anyway, yeah, that was not a good move. And since it happened, I wanted to share it with you so that hopefully it never happens to you. So take your time. When you're entering orders, make sure it's what you want to buy. Here is Beyond Meat. We were above the value zone. We came into the value zone. We moved sideways. I got in at 127.93. 2 bars later, it shot up. I took half, 128.51. And just like the rest of the trades, it gave it all back, but back to break even. So got in 127.93, got out at 128.53. And the second half, I got out exactly break even. So 3 good day trades. It was a little frustrating giving back half the profits on all 3 of them, but I am grateful for what I have. That's for sure. All right. I guess I could do it this way, right? Yes. Okay, so there's the day trades. There are the day trades. Now, let's go to swing trades. So Steve Burns and I, and Gary, it looks like, bought AGQ yesterday with a 520 crossover. I bought it here at 45.91. Currently, the 5 is 45.23. The 20 is 45.22. Technically, it is still above. I do have a rule, though, that if I have a close below below both of the moving averages, that I will get out of half. At this time, I am under both of the moving averages. So if it closes like this, I will, as a precaution, get out of half my shares. So this is down 1.74% today. Real quick, I did sell some puts on Alibaba. I sold them down here to $180, expiring January 15th. If the price stays above $180 by that time, I will be able to keep the premium. The premium was pretty good, even for such a low delta. I picked the 180 strike price because of the confluence of the -1 ATR channel and the 50-month moving average. On the weekly, that lined up nicely with the 200-week moving average. So anyway, that is my trade there. I am up on it so far, and I have about 30% protection below. SPY, all right. Well, I got so used to having profitable overnight SPY trades. This one shocked me a little bit. I did buy SPY yesterday at the close at 362.57. I got out for loss this morning at 359.97. This has been one heck of a run up here with gaps, I'll tell you what, but this one was a little bit of a loser today. All right, Apple. So Steve, Frank, Yas, Gary, Bob, Johan, Quad, and myself did buy Apple. Steve, Gary, Bob, Johan, Quad, and myself bought it here with the 1030 EMA crossover, bought it at 116.58. Currently it is 119.77. So up nicely on the trade. It is down a little bit today. Frank is in from 111 and Gary is in from 108. So Gary's made $11 on the trade. And then Yas got in at 116 and sold half. So the 530 on Apple is still in place. This is where we took the trade with the 1030 crossover, 116.58. It's doing what it's supposed to do. If it gets near the 70 RSI, I'll look to possibly take some profits off, and no profit targets yet today. And then Beyond Meat, Steve, Johnson, Johan, David, and Gary. Let me put Gary in there. Did buy Beyond Meat yesterday. I bought it right here at 126.91. Just about as good of a confluence as you could possibly ask for. Under 30, over 30, under the negative third, over the negative third, under the 200, over the 200, and cherry on top, this happened with a higher low close above the 200. Usually if you have a lower low close and then you close above many times, not always, but many times it will close back, but the higher low close back above the 200 is the best. So this is the epitome of a good risk to reward trade. If it closes below the $200 200 MA today, I will get out. It is up $1.10. It's up 0.87%. No profit targets yet though. So that's what's going on. I'm going to have to watch AGQ very closely. If we have a cross under, I will, like there is now, I'll have to get out of the entire position. All right. David says, I entered PLTR again when it broke above the previous high. Oh, interesting. Remind me at the end though. Okay, Dave? Make sure to remind me at the end. Jatton says monster. Well, I mean, it's up today. That's good. I don't see a clear signal here, and we still have this big bar that it's been inside ever since for the last week or so. I don't see anything clear, but it is good relative strength to the upside. Johan says, thanks, Greg and Kamal. Lots to learn. You bet, buddy. Maybe not long SPY. Market is crazy. LOL. Jat said, the SPY was such a simple setup. It went up yesterday and it came down, filled the gap, retested the previous resistance, turned support, and bounced off technicals. Jatton is very good at technical analysis. GM says, oh my God, Greg, I'm sure your heart dropped. Yes, it did. It was a big trade. Let me put it that way. It's the biggest trade I've placed in years. How about that? Is that a good way to put it? I called the guy and told him, and he was like, holy smokes. He thought it was funny. It was not funny to me. Can you imagine? It was hundreds of shares, many hundreds of shares of Amazon. Kamal says Amazon is 169x VIX. Yeah, it's 169 times what the price of VIX was. And I was buying quite a few shares of VIX. Greg says, because of your 2 ATR position sizing, I see that you have not had to exercise the emergency stops. Right. You know, if I use just a straight 10% emergency stop, you know, in most stocks that's going to work. But, you know, if you have a stock that moves 15% a day in its average normal range, then a 10% would be meaningless because it would be inside a noise, right? That's why I like using the 2 ATR. John said, did you move the markets, Greg? Maybe. Maybe. Ava says, watching GOOS PayPal and maybe. Is that right? GOOS? Canadian Goose? What? Well, we did get some sideways motion here. This is technically a V2 today. Good relative strength. It didn't yesterday's bar didn't wash that out very much, but it's above the 50. It's above the moving averages. Not too bad, and it's up today. I think that looks pretty good. You know, if I was in PayPal and it closed right here, I would get out because it rejected, I would get out of half at least because it's rejected the 50, well, it rejected the 50 RSI and the 50-day moving average. That to me is not a great sign. Zynex. Yeah, that's fairly decent. Although, did we reject the 50 RSI? That's the key. No, not quite. Not quite, but it certainly did reject the 20 and so forth. Let's look over on the weekly, Ava. Nothing too exciting on the weekly. You have the resistance of the 1 ATR channel, negative 1 ATR channel above. But anyway, I hope that helped. Steve says, my AGO and Nvidia stop loss could be triggered today. Yep. GM says, OMG, Greg, Amazon puts. Did you make gains, though? No, they weren't puts. It was straight out shares. Yes, I made a gain. I made a gain on that mistake. Not a lot. Had I waited 10, 15, 20 minutes, I would have made a grundle. All right, let's take a look here. NVDA is Nvidia. Steve, Johan, David bought the 520 crossover at 539.75. It is currently 533.71 and is the 5 above 360, 536.01, 536.22. So currently it has crossed under, and if you're trading that mechanically, that would be a sell signal if you are trading it mechanically. It looks like earnings are tomorrow. Shop. I saw this earlier and I was so happy for Kamal because it was up. It's still up on the trade. Kamal bought intraday at yesterday at 893 and at 900 even. It's 909.75. So he's still up nicely on the trade. It was just so, I was up so much higher earlier and he hit the rejection of the 1 ATR channel above. But very nice, Kamal. Is down a little bit today, but still up on both positions. So congratulations. Johan and Brian. Nice return to value V2. They bought it at 128.30. It is now 131.82. So congratulations, Brian and Johan. Up nicely on a down day and nicely up on the trade. AMD. Steve bought AMD with the 1030 crossover. Here we go. That's when the pink line crossed over the gray line. Bought AMD at 81.26. It is currently at 83.18. Is down a little bit today, but nicely up on the trade for Steve. GoDaddy. This is the trade, Johan, that I was discussing with Kamal. This nice rejection off the 200 plus a V1. Bought it at 73.70. It is currently 76.47, up 2.78% just today. So excellent, Johan. Berkshire Hathaway, David has been in this trade for a long time, but it's been a great trade. David bought it back here at 201.42. Nice setup, kind of similar to the Beyond Meat. Rejected the 30 RSI twice, rejected the 200-day moving average once, closed over the third ATR channel. Negative 30 ATR channel, bought at 201.42. It is 232.91, everybody. So monster move. Very nicely done, David. Is just down a touch today, but what a great run. Proud of you, my friend. Intel. All right. Gary did sell puts, a put spread. He sold a put spread November 20th. That's this Friday, the 45.40. So roughly what that means, if the price of Intel stays over $45 by Friday, Gary will be able to make all the difference between what he sold and what he bought, and that was the intent of the trade. So stay up there, baby. Stay up above 45 for Gary. Edit. Kamal bought Edit at 29.22. It is currently 29.02, so down about 2 cents, but nice bounce off the 200-day moving average. That's a plus sign. So a little bit down on the day, a little bit down on the trade there. GDXJ, yeah, spot GDXJ at 53.20, moved up nicely. I know he took some profits on the way up, which I'm glad. Moved back down. It's down 1.6% today, but still technically above his entry. So, you know, I know he took profits up here, which helps. So this makes that a profitable trade. Qs. Frank bought a half position of the Qs at 284.60. It is currently 292.06, down a little bit on the day, but nicely up on the trade. Blue, Kamal bought blue at 45.17. It is 45.92. He's up on the trade, just a little bit down on the day, so nice going there. Ava bought QLD at 95.80. It is currently 99.83. It is down a little bit today, but Ava is up nicely on the trade. Workhorse, nice trade, Bob. Bob bought at 19.16, and it's been nice and positive almost the whole way, up 6.63% today. So this from entry to current is 9.75%. So pretty nice looking move. Quad Racer bought GILD at 60.81. It is 60.77. So down about 4 cents on the trade, but it's recovered nicely from its lows. AT&T, this is Johnson, bought AT&T at 28.91. It is 28.96. So it is down a penny, but he is up on the trade. Google, Jatson bought Google at 17.48. It is 17.70, down 11 points, but still up on the trade. So congratulations, Jatson. Zynga, Bob bought Zynga, has been in this for a minute, 791 at 795. So is down a little bit on the day, was up much higher earlier in the trade, but he is still positive on the trade, so that's great. UPS, Johan, wow, what a recovery on UPS. Johan bought UPS at 168.30. It is 168.60, so he is up on the trade. Very nice, up on the day and up on the trade. And then Tesla. GM bought Tesla calls right here and then had the announcement yesterday, and this rocketed up. I mean, it's still up 7.75%, but I'm hoping for GM's sake, maybe you sold it right at the open. So excellent. A lot of good trades there. I don't see a lot of losing trades. I don't see people holding on to losing trades, which is the most important. Riot Blockchain, holy hamburgers. Oh, your target's in the 20s. Well, that's a triple even from there. Fantastic. Gary says, Kamal, I sold 124 calls on Apple today, expiring Friday. Have a gain of almost 40% if I buy them back now. Oh, so you sold 124 calls on Apple today, expiring Friday. You almost have a gain of 40%. 50%. Wow. Very nice, Gary. Yes, sold Tesla at the open. Perfect. Boy, you did really well then, GM. Very nice. All right. So listen, before we start getting taking a look at the charts, looking for the end of day trade, the best end of day trade, I just quickly want to talk a little bit about trader psychology. This is Trading Composure over on Twitter at Trading Composure. If you haven't subscribed to his channel, I would really suggest you do. He really gets deep into the trading psychology portion of trading. He knows how important it is. That's why he focuses on it. So let's see what he has to say. When you are ruled by emotions like fear or greed, you become agitated, stressed out, and your trading reflects that. It's messy and lacks consistency. If you're honest with yourself, if I'm honest with myself, some days when I'm day trading, like there's no stress whatsoever. I'm like in a really good place. It usually happens if I start off the day positive. But if I start off the day negative, I have a little bit different aura about me, a little bit, like Trading Composure says, a little messier. I think I'm pretty consistent, but I'm a little more harried. Do you know what I mean? And, Jesse could comment on this, but, when you're calm and you can think clearly, you're thinking with the thinking part of your brain. When you're stressed out, in danger, you're using the reptilian part of your brain. I think it's the amygdala, and you don't think as clearly. So that's why it's always important to, and it all comes down to position size, everybody. Like I always say, it comes down to position size. Okay, what about my mistaked Amazon trade? Do you think I was thinking very clearly when I saw that? If it would have been 10 shares of Amazon, I wouldn't have cared. I would have thought it through, whatever. But I mean, in that situation, I did what I was supposed to do. I just immediately got out without thinking about it. But, talk about fight or flight. When I bought that huge position and it was a mistake and it took me a few minutes to process what happened, right? I did that on the Japanese yen years ago as well. But it all comes down to position size. If it would have been one share Amazon, I would have just sat there very calmly and said, maybe I'll get out at the ask, try to get out the ask, whatever, right? But where I'm going, this whole post here talking about ruled by emotions, fear or greed, if you just position size conservatively, you're going to stay in that happy zone. You're going to stay in that happy value zone. You're not going to be too excited. You're not going to be too depressed. You're going to be using the thinking part of your mind, not that reptilian fight or flight. So anyway, Trading Composure over on Twitter. If you haven't subscribed, please do. But when you are ruled by emotions like fear or greed, you become agitated, stressed out, and your trading reflects that. It's messy and lacks consistency. So let's be neat and consistent, and in my opinion, the best way to do that is with proper position size. If everybody could give me about 25 seconds, I have to take care of something real quick. I'm sorry, but I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. Wow, this Raya blockchain's something, isn't it? Holy camole. All right. Jatin says volume drying up in Google, holding the trade with patience and with the stop loss at 1734. Okay, good. Morgs. Hi, I've been trading for a bit now, but I'm looking at taking my trading to the next level and really get a proper strategy in place and learn from a mentor of some sort that I can be in contact with and learn from. What are your recommendations for that sort of thing I can look into or contact someone? Thanks. Well, Morgs, I do teach private one-on-one lessons in the evening time via Skype. So, if you're interested in possibly studying with me one-on-one, just send me an email. Email's in the description of the video. Other than that, I do have a lot of lessons, free lessons in YouTube in my lessons playlist. You might want to take a look at those. But yeah, if you're interested in possibly doing lessons with me, just contact me. Okay, let's see. We have 20 minutes. I'll tell you what. I want to spend most of the time looking at our current potential. I know we've been looking at previous setups, but I have a feeling we're going to run a little low on time, so maybe we can get to that after. Let me take a look real quick, see what the market's doing. So the Dow's down 183 now. All right, let's look at Paycom software. This is a decent return to value here above 1 ATR channel. We come into the value zone. We have sideways, 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 sideways movement. We reject previous low here. We have a nice V1. Looks like, I don't think we quite rejected the 50 RSI, but let me check. Nope, we didn't, but this is a good looking return to value. You can see that the volume has dried up here. This is a potential. Let me look at the weekly. Weekly is holding the 5-week moving average. When I look over to the weekly, I just want to make sure there's some type of support below me, and the 5 is below me. So this one is a potential for me with this return to value, sideways motion, and a V1. AYX. False breakout to the downside from this low plus a V1 back over the negative third ATR channel. It's a 4171 RSI. It's been a while since it's closed above the 5 EMA. It may do that. I don't like the risk reward as much as the previous one, but we'll take a look. Lulu does have a 520 crossover. This does backtest well. We also had a MACD crossover here as well, which is a good supporting indicator as well. We're above the moving averages. We're above the 50 RSI on the weekly. So that one actually looks pretty good. It is up 1.95% today. I don't like the big bar over here, but it does have a back-tested, a good back-tested crossover, which is the 520. Is it still in place? Yes, it is in place. So that's potential also. VRNS, I don't really see anything here on VRNS. It has all this resistance above it. It's not forming a V1 or a V2 or anything like that. Roku, I remember we talked about this yesterday. We had that higher low V1, but I said we had a lower high. It needs to wash this out first. So it's up 1.52%, but off of its highs. I don't see anything there. STMP, stamps.com. False breakout from this previous low. Looks like it went under 30, over 30. You know, it's a little tempting. I don't like that we have this negative third channel right above it and the 200-day moving average right above it. I mean, it's still a good risk to reward ratio. Let's look over on the weekly. Weekly's not bad, holding the 50-week moving average as support underneath it. So, excuse me. Wix. False breakout to the downside. V2 closes lower than the open. We have a gap here, so I don't like Wix. W. Man, all these look very, very similar. False breakout to the downside, V1. Let's look over on the weekly. Back in the value zone, which is good. I still like the first three best. TLND. It is a V2. It is above the 50 RSI. MACD is green. This is all pretty good. Only 173,000 shares traded. It is green today, so relative strength is good. It's okay. This big bar here concerns me, though. Edit. Kamal is in edit. I guess this jumped off the scanner today because of the rejection of the 200 of the 250 and the negative 1 ATR channel. I hope that goes up for Kamal. I do, but I don't think I'm interested in taking that one at the moment. NKTR. Higher low V2 above all the moving averages. The only thing here, though, is it rejected the 50-day moving average already. If I was in this trade, I would be getting out of half of my trade because of that reason. So I'm going to pass on that one. ATVI, that's a V1 to the downside and a false breakout from this high. You know, if I was going to short something, I would consider shorting this. Do you see what I'm saying? Here's the high. Today we went above that high and failed, and we also have a V1 trigger to the downside, and we're under 50 RSI. So if I was in a shorting mood, that is something I would probably look at, but I'm not in a shorting mood. OKTA, darn it. I was very close to taking this one yesterday, but I didn't because I took Beyond Meat instead. Higher low V1 above all the moving averages is up nicely, up 1.46% today. It has a 520 crossover. I don't know how this back tests though. I don't know how the back tests on OKTA. So with that being said, I'm going to leave it. Crowd. This is fairly strong. Higher low V2. The risk to reward's a bit stretched because your risk would be down here. You have this resistance over here. It did close above the 50-day moving average and the 50 RSI, which is positive, but I think the others have better risk to reward ratios. QLYS. Oh, I had a lot of hope for this trade. I remember I bought it. Where did I buy it? I bought it here. Had to get out 2 days ago. Can't remember now. I don't see anything there though. CPRT. So Kamal and I were talking about this earlier. This is a little different approach that he uses here. I'm not going to get into that at the moment. But this is setting up for a nice V2 tomorrow. Look, we have earnings though. So, okay. So let's narrow this down real quick. Let me take a look at my current position, see what's going on. Oh, AGQ is horrible. I'm going to have to get out of AGQ for sure. Yep, going to have to get out of AGQ. That is definitely crossing under. VIX is positive. By the way, I guess I forgot to go over VIX. I did buy VIX here at 1983. Under 30, over 30, under the negative third, over the negative third, moved sideways, had that big day up 2 days later, did hit a couple profit targets, and I did hit one profit target today actually at the open at $19 even, and Quad and Ramble Ron in here. So anyway, that's up a little bit for me, but the main thing there is that I hit that profit target when it was up a couple percent or something similar. Beyond Meat's doing very well, very nice. I took my profit targets out because I didn't think it was going to hit, but it is possible. It is possible. So AGQ, I am going to have to get out of for sure. So let's go back and take a look at these. So Paycom. Nice return to value, sideways motion. Nice false breakout to the downside with the V1. It's over 50 RSI. Again, over on the weekly, it has support of the 5-day EMA, which is good. So that one is a positive. It's a pretty good risk to reward. My stop would be right here. Today is the washout bar. So my stop would be right here with the red bar. Or the red line. Pretty good risk to reward. Pretty good risk to reward. AYX, I just feel like that one's a little chasey. I just feel like that one is definitely a little chasey. It's making a new high on the day, which is good. If we go over to the weekly, back over the 100 and the -1, so that's positive. I just feel like it's a little chasey. Lululemon, the 520 crossover does back test well. The weekly, we are above the moving averages. We're above the 50. You know, earnings are coming up. Is it going to run into earnings? Who knows? But I do like that one. And then the last one, VRNS. Oh, no. So for me, it really comes down to either Paycom here. It went red-green, Kamal. I'm sure you saw that. The risk to reward looks like it's the best. It is up today, so good relative strength. Lululemon has the crossover, but it has the big, nasty, big bar down here. Darn it. Yeah. So that made my mind up. We're right at about halfway, so PAC is the one I'm going to go with today. Made a higher high, consolidation, So yeah, this is the one I'm going to buy today, unless it untriggers and unless it closes below the 50 RSI. So that's my take on that today. Johan says, I've been monitoring AYX for a while. It looks like a double bottom with a bullish divergence on the weekly. Let's look. Yes, very good. It did have a little green in there, so it is a double bottom with a bullish divergence. This is less steep than this. Very good. Jatin says, as of now, nothing is visible on charts regarding the S&P 500 and Dow. Both are strong. Johan says, Steve, wondering what is your stop on Nvidia, please? I'm pretty sure Nvidia, Steve used the 520 EMA crossover. I don't want to speak for Steve, but I'm fairly certain that if the 5 closes below the 20, that would be his stop. But currently it's still above. CPRT has earnings tomorrow. I think NIO is a short before or after earnings. Gary says GM looks like this on NIO today. Buy. So that's a trade you said? Oh, somebody's making, or hedge maybe. Ranger Trader says, Morgs, as a former student of Greg's course, I can say you would be hard-pressed to find a better mentor than Greg. I strongly recommend him. Excellent teacher and trader who learned from the best. Oh, thank you, Jesse. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'd be happy to teach you, Morgs, if you're interested and you're serious. So just send me an email in the description. So on the AGQ 4512 4519. So AGQ looks like it's a goner. But you know, that's the key with these crossovers. You take them. If you're wrong, you get out for a small loss. 2.5% loss is nothing to sneeze at, but in the big picture, you know, this could go all the way back down and you would wish you'd had a 2% loss. But on the other side, it may have gone up. You know, I mean, this AGQ has been known to just race up also. But anyway, I have to follow my rules. Those are my rules, unless barring some miracle here today. It looks like the 5 will cross under the 20. Alibaba is that long-term put I sold. VIX, buying the VIX, buying SPY at the close. VIX has been all over the place today, so it is down 4 cents. Apple, that is down today, but the 1030 is still holding. And Beyond Meat, good for Beyond Meat. Go, go, go. Needed something that went up today, that's for sure. Okay. Let me take a little look over here. Okay. Well, I'm sure glad silver did rally there in the last little bit. Who knows? Maybe it will hang in there and we'll survive one more bar on this crossover. It's possible. Oh boy. You're going to do that to me, computer? Okay. Sorry. Fire this up again. Sorry, buddy, I'm having to get back in something here. Hopefully that will take care of it. Go Beyond Meat, nice. Okay, am I still interested in Paycom? I would have to say I am. Lulu has that nice back test with the crossover, but this big bar, it just concerns me. All right. So two things I have to do here. I have to buy Paycom and I have to get rid of AGQ, but I want to wait till we get a little closer. So VIX went positive. All right, I am going to go ahead and buy Paycom. Oh, that's a 31-cent spread, everybody. Be aware of that. I'll just try to middle it here and see if I can get filled. Oh, very easy. Very easy. Okay. That's taken care of, and now I have to get AGQ on the chopping block here. You know, from an intraday's perspective that we were just looking at, that big drop we had, I think I'm just going to take advantage of that big rally there and just go ahead and sell. I think more than likely that would come down, but who knows? Okay, good. Taken care of. It's been a little bit of a struggle the last few days for my swing trades, that's for sure. The day trades have been pretty good, but the last few days the swing trades have been a challenge. But that's, you know, that's how it goes. You go through periods, right? You go through periods where you just feel like you're never going to lose a penny again, and then you go through periods where it's very difficult to make a penny. But just remember, if you're making a lot of money, there will be a time that you lose, and if you're losing a lot of money, it will turn around for you as well. So I did exit AGQ. And I did enter Paycom. Well, so far that looks like the right move on silver. All right. I hope you review them to check it's not Amazon. Hey, trust me, last trade on VIX, I triple burger checked that it wasn't Amazon. Ranger said, Morg, Steve, new trader, you are also excellent resources, and Steve was one of Greg's teachers. He absolutely was. It had a huge effect on my trading. Thank you so much for that, Steve. All right. So let me take a quick look here, see where I got filled on all of this stuff. SPY, I got filled at 360.62. And Paycom, I got filled at 381.75. All right, so a new overnight SPY trade here. $360.62. And Paycom, 381.75. And my stop will be closed below today's halfway of today's bar. That's the washout bar. That's the 50% Fibonacci bar or level that should hold. And if it doesn't, that will be a warning sign to me that the trade's not moving up. So I will go ahead and get out. So, all right, that takes care of business. I am at an AGQ. I think other people are too. Real quick, before we take a look at your new entries and new exits, just I already said it earlier for Morg, but yes, I do teach private one-on-one lessons in the evening time. I have a really good course. I've traded for almost 25 years now. I've studied extensively one-on-one with Stephen Burns, Dr. Alexander Elder, Kerry LeVorn, Larry Williams. The course I teach, I incorporate everything I've learned from all four of these gentlemen into the course. It's 15 hours, 5 sessions. Each session is 3 hours, and I think you get a lot of value for your money. It's $1,000, but I think it's worth every penny. And to learn from 4 really great traders and authors to learn their methodologies with a one-on-one teacher, I think is a pretty good deal. So, if you're interested, like I was telling more, just send me an email. Email's in the description. You can send me a message on Twitter and I'll reply and say, hey, let's set up a Skype call. The Skype call is not a sales call. I'll never ask you if you want to take the course. I just want to understand you a little bit better, your trading, where you're coming from, where you want to go, your goals, your challenges. And then it's a good time for you to ask me, specific questions about the course. So if you're interested, reach out to me. It'd be nice to speak to you on a Skype call one evening in the future. And then if you like today's podcast, I really would appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button. If you like the content, if you found it helpful, but if you did, I'll ask, just hit the thumbs up button before you get out of here. And it helps, grow the channel, keep the channel around, all that kind of good stuff. So, okay, now let's get over and see what everyone is doing. Gary. Okay, so I know everybody is out of silver. Gary and Steve are out of silver, and myself. Okay. Kamal is in Paycom. And out of Baba. Oh, did I not? Oh, shoot. Oh, yeah. Okay, that was from this morning. That was from this morning for Kamal. I put that other one on, but I didn't put this one on. Sorry, Kamal. GM says, oh boy, what a day. Johnson says, no new trade holding T and Beyond Meat. That's exactly what I want to hear, Johnson. You're holding your winners. You have a winner on AT&T. You have a winner on Beyond Meat. And that looks pretty good. I mean, we could move from here, hopefully. Johan is in Paycom. Just glad to see all your positions up here are, in the money. I would just be concerned if I kept seeing positions up here that were consistently, the losses were growing and growing and growing. And that's really, that's about it. Johan, GoDaddy, you sold half. Okay, nice. You know me. I like to take half off. I never saw a stock that I didn't want to take half off of. Nice trade on that, especially on a red day like today, Johan. Very nice. GM says, LOL, good job checking. We all have stories, Greg. LOL, you don't want to hear my mistakes, trade orders. Oh, I do. Please tell. Frank's in the SPY trade. Frank, is it just coincidence that you started doing the SPY trade after I stopped talking about the SPY trade? Is that coincidence? I don't see how it could be. Maybe it is. Steve says, Greg is who I send people to for one-on-one, as I don't do that. He was one of the only people to talk to me one-on-one trading with him. Yeah, I really enjoyed that, Steve. I'll tell you what, that was really a treat for me, and sorry for asking you 8 zillion questions repeatedly. Jan says, holding ALGN. Do I have ALGN up here? Is this a new one for you? ALGN. 441. $441, is that right? 441. So you had to have bought that back over in this range. And that's Jatin. Okay, got you down. Very nice. What's your stop? 441. Okay. With a stop loss of 410. Ava got workday. $225. 45. Very nice, Ava. Looks like we have earnings coming up. Keep that in mind. HYLN. HYLN. Come on now. There we go. At $24. Very nice. Ava is a good trader. $31.85. Wow, fantastic. Holy hamburgers. $31.85. And that is also Ava. Nice trading, my friend. Beautiful. Very nice job. Kamal says, how long did it take for Greg? I think it was a couple years, if I remember correctly. Quad says, no new trader changes, Greg. Okay. Morg says, do you like TrendSpider, Greg? I've heard a lot of good things about it, Morgs, but I have never used it personally. So, but I know if Steve's using it, it's good. Ranger says, Steve Burns, sorry about that. I meant your Twitter feed and website are a great resource, not for hire. Steve says, Greg already had read my books and taken my e-courses. That's true. And also studied with Alexander Elder and Lavorne. So he just needed a few pieces to finish his journey. It was less than a year, I think, a few hours. Was it less than a year? Seemed like 2 years, but it was a while ago. Yes, says still in Apple and GDXJ. Okay, I've got you in those, yes. Quad said, thumbs up to the video. Great live stream as always. Thank you very much, Quad. Kamal says, Steve Burns, less than a year to wear you down. I'm sure I wore him down. Frank says, no, I like to experiment. Okay, Jatin says, also holding Monster. Didn't I put Monster up here? I remember doing something with Monster. Okay, 8365. 8365. That was, I guess, yesterday. Okay. Gary says, thanks, Greg and Group. Hope everyone has a great day. Hope you have a good day as well, Gary. GM says, I'm gonna go have lunch. I'll see you all tomorrow. Greg, thanks. Everyone have a wonderful night. Everyone, please stay safe. How about that? Thank you very much, and congratulations, GM, on your wonderful Tesla trade. That was fantastic. Bob says, thoughts on keeping eyes on KL for tomorrow? Kirkland Gold. Yeah. Well, we are coming down to the 200-day moving average. It's not a perfect confluence with the third RSI or the negative third ATR channel, but right I'm just guessing here, Bob, but I bet you it tests right around here. The 30 RSI, that 200, and that negative third ATR channel. That's my guess. But yeah, let's watch it tomorrow. Remind me. Mark says, thanks, Greg, for the response. I need to leave now. It's pretty late in South Africa. Oh, I had a student in South Africa a while back. I will send you an email in the morning. Enjoy the evening. Okay, great. Look forward to it. Thanks, Morgs. Have a good evening. Ava says, thank you, but I had plenty of losing trades during the day as well. Ooh, we don't want to put those up, Ava. No, I got you. But the ones we had up there look pretty nice to me. Quad says, have a great day, all. You too, Quad. Jatin says, thanks, sir. Indeed, a great session every day. Cheers. Cheers to you. Thank you very much. All right. Well, it is a beautiful day here in Utah. Man, it gets dark so early. It gets dark at like 5:15. So for me to get out there and feel like I'm in the daylight at all, I'm going to put my hiking boots on, go for a hike, enjoy the beautiful weather. So I really appreciate you coming today. As always, thank you very much. And also, as always, please go out, try to do something nice for somebody today. Just give them a hand, lend a hand, some kind words to somebody, let somebody know how much they mean to you. And if you have a pet or if you come across an animal, try to be nice to the animal too. Give them a little love, some soothing words, maybe a little treat, a little huggy, right? A little lovey, something. So if we could do a nice, kind deed for one person and one animal each day, it would make the world a whole lot better place. So, all right. Well, interesting trading week this week. It's been challenging for me with swing trades. It has been challenging. Day trades have been good. Overnight SPY trades been great. But I'm in a little hitter slump right now. But that's how it goes. I've been through it about 18,000 times. And this is the time. You don't see me taking a lot of positions, right? I'm just taking like the very best one and just trying to print some red ink or some black ink on these swing trades. So, okay. Yuvar says, thanks, great session, good evening. Thanks, Yuvar, appreciate that. All right, everybody, have a good rest of your day, okay? And hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you.